What's good with the YouTube? You already know, Big Flocks with a convict's perspective. I'm gonna smash, dash, and slide on through. A little bit of energy, man. What's cracking, people? So please hit the like and subscribe button, man. Hit the comment. Please help support the channel. So I decided, man, there's one type of subject I really haven't touched base upon yet, man, and I think it's real important that I give credit where credit is due to an individual I functioned with under one time, and give a little bit of backstory behind that, man. It's someone that you guys all know, John Boxer Mendoza, Paradigm Media News. You know what I'm saying? Boxer from San Fran, who we do have an extensive history together, man. So let's take it back to 2001. Operation Black Widow had just hit, and there's some people that we used to be in contact with in Salinas because I was functioning under Robert Chico Rose from Salinas when he was staying in San Jose, and that was the regiment commander I reported to. And so in lieu of everything that happened, I met some people with Chico from Salinas, and one of those ended up being an individual named Gabe. Me and Gabe became really close friends, and then afterwards, like, I used to take him up there to visit Chico. I used to take him to my neighborhood, family events. I'd go to his house. Got my ex-wife's family got a pit bull from him, all kinds of stuff, man. We had a good solid relationship, man. And I'd go see him like every 2 weeks. Drive up to Salinas, we'd go to his house in Prunedale, and we'd kick it, drink beers, and post up, barbecue. Sometimes we'd go to like the bars that were local in town. And so one of these particular days, me and the other brother that was from the San Jose region, Chino from Mountain View, was we're gonna go up there to go see Gabe. They said bring the tack gun, so we went up there, and this is the first time I met Boxer Mendoza and Wino Gallegos from Salinas, and there was some other cat that was there from Daly City that was friends with Boxer, and this is where the first thing that I seen that stood out was Boxer's tattoo, Nuestra Familia, on the back of his head. And so we all started chopping up, we're drinking beers, and we're having a good time. I take off with Wino to go get some more beer and stuff, you know what I mean? And I didn't even know Wino was a carnal because he looked like a fucking young disco duck at the time, man. But he was cool. And we come back and we're all posted up at the pad. Chino hooks it up, fucking hooks up Boxer's head, and we made arrangements to get together in the future because there was a lot of stuff going on, man, that was in San Jose that kind of we needed some guidance on. Even though we were reporting out over there to fucking Oakland, there were still some questions. We need somebody with hands-on, and so we were trying to have a carnal out there help us out at the time. Boxer ends up getting hemmed up, right? Very short, because of that tattoo. You know what I'm saying? So shortly thereafter, I go to fucking San Quentin. I'm there with fucking Lencho for a minute. He leaves. Not Carlitos. Huicho. He leaves. Gaha Rodriguez, this is right before he flipped. Dancing Bear was there. Gonzo from Livermore. Lucky Mendoza when he got hit. And then out of nowhere, right before I'm about to leave, Bubba comes through from Salas. Now, the cats from Salas used to always call me fucking Bubba sometimes. They go, man, you look like fucking Bubba. And so when Bubba got there, I fucking said, hey, I sent him a kite. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm fucking Flocko. Whoa. Everybody says we fucking look alike. What the fuck you look like? He started laughing, man. He gets back at me. He goes, yeah. He goes, I heard about you from Boxer and woo. And, and Gabe, I heard good things about you, man. I go, yeah, Simon, likewise. He goes, I'm in contact with Boxer. I can get your number to him. I didn't think nothing of it. So Bubba sends my number to fucking Boxer. And from there, fucking, I didn't think nothing of it. I get out. Okay, one of the dudes that I previously wrote a report on that got deemed no good was back in contact, but he was in contact because they were fucking taxing him, which was fucking Gato the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Now, we were all, at that time, we were working with, Charlie Campa, Black Steve. All of us were all working together. There was really like two different teams at the time. And I had D with me, and my homeboy D, I'll just refer to him by that name. And he had a couple people that were with him that we were doing things. You know what I mean? We had things set up pretty good. And then I get a call from Boxer out of nowhere. I'm like, how you doing, Carnal? What's up? We're chopping it up, man. I go, yeah, I just got out, man. I was there when Lucky got hit, and whoa. We're just chopping up, And he goes, why don't you come this way? I go, but I'm in San Jose. He goes, if I can get clearance, will you come this way? I said, yeah, I'll come that way. So about a couple days later, I'm trying to get pulled this other way towards those in San Jose. And see, a lot of dudes from San Jose were pissed off afterwards because of what happened, because I got pulled for Salinas, but they couldn't do shit about it. You know, Boxer pulled rank, and Skip actually gave approval to put me on special assignment, and then I was allowed to pull those dudes that were previously working with the San Jose regiment that were working with me over that way. You know what I'm saying? Which was a very unusual situation, but there was reasons behind it, because I was already known to push a lot of dope out there. In the crew that we had, we were moving a lot of product. And so we set up for a meeting, and with another guy now that was in the East Bay, Gonzo from Livermore. So Gonzo, I meet with Gonzo from Livermore and his lady, and then Bobby Silencio's Lopez's wife came and picked us up, J-Lo. You know, J-Lo was real cool. She was real cool. She was cool people, man. She came, picked us up. We drove all the way to a Motel 6 out there in Salinas, and we had a junta there. And it was me, Gonzo, Boxer, and Smokey. And they were talking about who was MIA. At that time, you had another guy named Little Man, who really never checked in. Last name, I think, Martinez. I believe his last name was. That he was MIA. And then Powder was MIA at the time, too. And I told, that's what I let the homeboys know, that, you know, I was working with Powder previously before I went in on the violation. I wasn't working as far as his regiment, but he was getting work for me. I was plugging them with fucking dope at the time, because he had his small little crew out there, and he was supposed to work with Wino Zarowski. So, you know, we're the other implementations that we're told, we were authorized to sell dope to those that were not active, as long as they never committed certain crimes against the people or had told or anything like that. We were allowed to plug them with dope. And then anybody that was of like a high priority target, we were told that we didn't need a green light or clearance to go ahead and take action. So basically that was a smart play, which there was no order saying, okay, if this dude's out there, go hit him. It was, if you run into someone, that's up to you. You have the authority to do it. And so this kind of sheltered everybody. So we went, had our little meeting, and then I'd meet up with Boxer probably about once a week. Once a week I would drive out to Salinas, and I'd pick up work. And this is when they were just starting to get stuff sold up. Boxer had his contacts out there in San Francisco through, you know, with Nicoya and Mo. You know, Mo was a pretty good dude, man. He was a bro that was helping a lot of the homeboys out. He actually helped Gonzo get into an apartment out there in Livermore. And so the way everything would be coordinated is I would go out there probably like once a week and pick up product from Boxer. You know what I'm saying? As much work as he could have. And see, then on top of that, we had our own resources. So we were getting work from fucking Boxer, right? Moving whatever he shot us. He shot us meth, he shot us crack, whatever it may be. We had people that could move it. And it started helping them build up their shit over there in Salinas. You know what I'm saying? Because Boxer had a lot of hands in a lot of different places at the time, but he had just got out. So he's putting everything together. And it pretty much, you know, it was a pretty cool arrangement, because you know, Boxer was not how you say it, as long as I reported every couple of days, called him up and told him what was going on, he had no problem with it. As long as we didn't overstep any type of jurisdiction and anything that we were doing. I was to offer my assistance to Gonzo, because Gonzo never functioned. He got pulled in AC by Silencio and them, and you know, and I was there for Gonzo. You know, I started plugging Gonzo with my own work out there. And you know, Gonzo had a situation. We had to go lay down this individual named Scrappy from Hayward. You know, I had me, D, Kojak from Eastside Hoods, Roper, Tim Cortez, Young Buck. We had him when he was just a northerner, and you know, Boo Boo from fucking BRS, and a couple homeboys from Milpitas. And I ended up laying fucking Scrappy down, pretty much telling him he had to come out of fucking pocket. Motherfucking, I didn't give a fuck who was in the house. And that time Gonzo had a brother that he was trying to lace up in the game, and because of that incident and what I did in that house and how I got at those dudes, the whole house, it changed his brother forever. You know what I'm saying? Because I was real how you say it, aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have stupid when I went in those situations, and you know, I was there. And so I pick up Gonzo's monthlies or whatever was needed, and you know, coordinate things, you know. And then I had my own contacts of people that I was in communication with. You know, I think at that time I was in contact with Carlitos at that time, but that's when there was issues going on up there in Corcoran, and it pretty much, we were able to we were flourishing. You know what I mean? On all ends, we were able to help out Salinas, and we were able to have our own operations. And see, the things that were starting to occur was there was starting to be a lot of hate on our ends because we weren't under San Jose, but we were tapping into different resources that the San Jose Regiment was starting to tap into. You know, because of the relationship that we had with like Black Steve and myself and fucking D and you know who certain people's family members were and that knowledge, it was kind of very easy for us to obtain other resources out there in San Jose. So sometimes we were stepping on toes. You know what I'm saying? And that's around the time that when fucking D decided to fucking basically take about, I think it was 13 or 20 pounds from fucking Gato and not pay him, and use that money to build up our fucking resources. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I functioned out there with Boxer for a minute. You know, I'd go over there. He had this little spot right there. He had a spot kind of blown up, like over there on I think it was West Market or something. When you come off of Highway 101, and you get off of Market, you go to right. It was like a community, place and stuff, man. And he had everything stored in different locations and stuff, but it wasn't in his room. So he kind of had shit pretty sold up pretty good, as best as he could under the circumstances, man. And you could tell he had the motherfucking manager of the house fucking like basically under his fucking wing, whatever he needed to have done. And yeah, it was a different time era back then, and everybody's trying to maintain a low profile because there was so much shit going on. You know, people that we used to work with and communicate with were flipping, they were dropping out, fucking. There was fucking certain fucking CDs that were coming out with fucking certain reports and stuff that nobody was supposed to have, and you know, everybody was just trying to fucking scramble to fucking figure out what was going on. And that's when fucking Boxer had called a meeting to go out there to Salinas and stuff, man. And, you know, this is the one time when I didn't disobey an order, but I made an excuse because I didn't think it was a smart thing to do. I didn't want to be seen with fucking 4 or 5 different other regiments. I thought that was pretty much not going to... I wanted to protect what we had going on. And I figured if we go out there, it's going to be hot business because Salinas was hot. So I never showed up for the barbecue. We just pretty much made excuses. And then shortly thereafter, fucking what occurred from there was Boxer gets hemmed up and stuff. And, you know, there were some accounts about fucking the money for me associating with D, that they were instructing us to have D pay the money. And Boxer told me, but I kind of was nonchalant about it. I kind of was telling D, but not pushing the issue. Skip got mad at me. You know what I'm saying? And put me on freeze for about fucking a week. And that was pretty much the extent. Like, we were out there, man. Like, you know, Boxer was pretty easy to work with. You know, I mean, he was direct, and you know what I'm saying? And afterwards, it was just like, okay, what's cracking? You know what I mean? He drank his 211, whatever we're doing, man, and that was it. And same thing happened again. You know, I go in, I catch a case in 2002 because of another carnal, right? And I get out, I bail out. I'm trying to beat this on bail, man. I do my parole violation, I bail out, and I get a call from someone that says J-Lo says for you to call Boxer. Here's the number, and I was like, oh wow, how'd they get my number and all kinds of shit? So I called Boxer, and that's when I found out that he had relocated to fucking to Campbell and stuff. You know what I mean? And then, you know, went out there the first day, you know, went and grabbed some money from a couple people I know. I said, hey, can you help the guy? Now he just got out. He's getting situated out here. You know, a couple people helped out. Then we went to go see some homeboys I knew that were doing things that were previously working with us. During the time frame that, like, 10 months before, they were no longer working with homeboys because they didn't want to fuck with certain homeboys. You know, went to go see what's his name? The little small homeboy, Larry Santos and shit, man. And we were hearing about an individual over there named Smiley that was running around with Chente and a couple other cats, sleepy, talking about that he was a carnal. I know he wasn't. He was in the 4th floor with me, and he had just locked it up. So he was going over that pad. So next thing you know, I told Boxer, I go, let's go get this dude. We show up, and I'm young. You gotta remember, I'm young at this time and shit, man. So dudes ends up pulling up with his wife or someone at the same time we were getting there. So pretty much fucking Boxer told me, let me do the talking and shit, man. And I start coming at dude more aggressive and shit. And then Boxer pretty much Boxer kind of intervened and said, you know, look, you know what I'm saying, you're going to come up with something right now. And I want to take off on this dude, man, but I'm not, if he gives me the green light, I'm taking off on dude. So he said, fucking, well, what do you got? He starts telling us about this counterfeit shit. So we go up in there and I start taking all his fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything he got in his fucking room, and we say, look, you're going with us. You're gonna show us how to do this shit. The dude asked fucking Boxer if he could shower. Boxer said, nah, you're fucking coming now. The dude was tired. Boxer, we had just got some work, I think, from fucking, from BJ, as a matter of fact. We went to drive out to Watsonville, and he met up with BJ at this Chevron right there. And, so Boxer's offering the dude, like, hey, do you want a line? You know what I'm saying? And I remember the dude was in fucking Brown. He left the fourth floor, and Boxer pretty much told him, like, look, if you never functioned in an SNY yard where you had action to get at somebody, if you never told or committed crimes against the people, he goes, I got a lot of pull. I could pull you back in and stuff, And the dude was supposed to be a bro. And so basically what happened was Boxer was just pretty much utilizing this guy. I think he may have cleared him for a minute, based upon the fact of the things that he was able to contribute. And then, I started hooking up Boxer with a couple other people. You know what I'm saying? And we went to drive out to all the way to fucking Ukiah to go pick up fucking his El Camino at the time, the same one he talks about in his book. But I was I was basically out there. I came out at that time, and I was with Chuco, and Chuco had asked me if I wanted to function with this particular crew out there, and I told him, nah, I'm already obligated pretty much to Salinas and shit. But I'm also stepping out on bail, so I don't want to obligate myself and keep myself short. You know what I'm saying? I want to follow procedures because I didn't know what was going on with the state and the feds. Chuka was still acknowledging the feds as brass. Okay, he was in the county jail on appeal. You know what I'm saying? Because Rachel came through and he got deemed. You know what I'm saying? And but I was pretty more loyal to Boxer, and I actually tried to plug in some people with Boxer, some other people. I was trying to do the best I could before I got hemmed up, and I ended up getting hemmed up. I think I was out there maybe 3-4 months. And they ended up sending me to prison on a prison term because I was out on bail. Went from fucking straight to fucking off the streets to in San Quentin 3 days later. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much the extent of the relationship that me and Boxer had. You know what I mean? Like, he was in contact with a lot of people too. Boxer was good at staying in communication. You know what I'm saying? And, he never the thing is that I think he didn't like Lencho, but he never showed it. He always showed Lencho the respect, man. But it was kind of opposite with Lencho. Lencho and a couple other people in San Jose would try to hate on Boxer a little bit. And I think it was because of how Boxer carried himself a little bit. He was direct. He didn't beat around the bush. He wasn't sugarcoating shit. This is what it is, and that's what time it is. And he pulled a lot of rank out there. You know what I'm saying? And with that comes a lot of hate and stuff, man. But that's my extent of my relationship functioning with Boxer. You know what I'm saying? It was for a minute out there. You know what I'm saying? And, being out there in the streets, you just do the best of your abilities, man. And, he wasn't a dictator. He wasn't a tyrant. He was strict at times. But he didn't have to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just me. You know what I'm saying? You tell me something, all right, I got you, bro. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Or he'd be like, what the fuck you talking about? Hold on, bro. Here it is. This is what I'm talking about. And it was an easy dude to work with, man. I've worked with a lot of carnales out there in the streets. And he didn't trip that I had other relationships with other C's and was in contact with other C's because, in fact, I remember he gave me fucking Carlitos' number at that time, and I called him when he was in Mexico. And, this was back in 2002. And there were some other carnals I used to keep in contact with, and he never said I couldn't, channel any information or, be a pipeline to obtain what's going on in the different facilities. He was okay with it, man, as long as I kept him abreast. And then the things that we were doing out there in San Jose, he didn't fucking micromanage. We were doing probably a little too much, but we were also being productive. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we had established out there, we were going to bring to the Salinas regiment, which we had some things going on, man. From the chemicals to fucking make the PCP and the meth, so all kinds of things. And so that they liked how we were productive and that we didn't have to be fucking told what to do. It's always easy to delegate responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So the crew that we had out there, they didn't even need to meet Boxer. You know what I'm saying? I would take care of everything that had to be taken care of and then fucking go see Boxer. Here's the monthlies, bam. You know what I'm saying? Here's the money for the dope, bam. And that was it. It's kind of shocking that it's like been 20 years now, over 20 years. And, fuck, I was a kid at that time. Boxer was young. He was only about 34. 32, and we were doing the best of what we could do. We all had a foresight of trying to establish things for the gente out there, and build. And it was about creating building blocks at one step at a time that everybody contributing, man. And There was never any talk about who was reporting to who was doing what. We just did what we needed to do. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool situation when I was working with Salinas. Um, the free reign that we kind of had to do things, but it also created a lot of tension out there in San Jose. You know what I'm saying? People were sometimes misinterpreting, thinking that we were the fucking San Jose regiment at times and so forth when we weren't, because we did have a lot of squad. We had a squad out there. You know what I'm saying? We had a crew out there that was under Salinas, but there was only 3 of us that were on the books. Anyways, I figured I would tell you guys a little bit about my relationship with Boxer, man. It's been a long time. I got a lot of love for the dude. You know, we've been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was always there when anytime he needed it, and vice versa, man. You know, sometimes this YouTube shit, you know, makes you forget the past relationships you have with people and who they fucking really are sometimes, you know what I mean? Because we're all trying to do the same thing on here. But anyways, shouts out, man, for everybody out there. Shouts out to Boxer, man. It's your boy Flacco. I'm gone.